A huge Xander was just caught in North Dakota. Texas Walleye show out, and this has gotta be the strangest pike deformity I have seen yet. We got all that and more coming up right now on Target Walleye's Top 5 presented by Seafoam. Let's dive on in. Number 1. Another huge Xander was just caught in North Dakota. That's right, the only place in North America where you can catch a Xander. More on that in a minute. Dustin Wolf thwacked this 32-inch Xander out of a shallow slough in North Dakota while ripping a big Selma walleye shad, basically a big swim bait or boot tail. Such an insane fish. Now I would say congratulations, but I already did. Last January, when he caught a dirty 30-incher while ice fishing on a slough in North Dakota. His secret? He said he's not going to cut his hair until he catches a 40-incher. Alright, I made that last part up, but everything else I've said is true, which brings us to number 2. Yep, that's right, there's a small population of Xander right here in North America, and I'm specifically talking about North Dakota, where back in 1989, Game and Fish stocked Lake Name Removed, with approximately 190,000 European Xander fry and 1,050 Xander fingerlings. Now in 1990, they had to scrap the program because neighboring states and provinces were a little bit concerned with that program. Party poopers. But there's still a small fishable population in Lake Name Removed, and even a joining lake thanks to high water years and culverts. We're actually coming up on the 3-year anniversary of Sam Wenner's North Dakota state record Xander, which of course makes it the biggest Xander caught in the entire continent. And it was 35 5/8 inches long and just under 16 pounds. That's going to be a tough one to top. Yes, it was weighed on a verified scale, though I would have thought the price per pound would have been a little bit more steep than that. I seriously cannot get over that thing's massive broomtail and those vampire-like teeth. Speaking of North Dakota having big everything, get you a wide load of this 33-inch walleye that was 15.5 pounds. Cole Frenzel snatched her from the east side of Lake Sakakawea earlier this spring. He said he was fishing a Berkeley the Champ swimmer on a 3/8 ounce Fusion 19 jig head. Such a fun way to catch those fish. Even cooler as he released the fish to get even more bigger. Who knows? It might be the next North Dakota state record walleye in a couple of years. By the way, Cole is no stranger to big critters. He currently holds the North Dakota state record for the typical archery mule deer. He stuck that velvety Pope and Younger back in Whoops, he's not that old. He stuck that velvety Pope and Younger back in 2016 and it was over 196 inches. Go big or go home, and Cole's not going anywhere, I don't think. Texas Walleyes confirmed. The Texas Walleye Association held a 2-day tournament on Lake Meredith a couple weekends back, and some fellers crushed them. Travis Leonard and Michael Vasquez took home the W, including the biggest bag of the tournament on day 2, which was 5 fish for 31.12 pounds. That's a 6-pound average in Texas. That's a good bag anywhere, but in a state that most people don't even know walleyes exist. Nicely done, fellas. I almost forgot. I reached out to Travis to get the scoop on how he caught him. He said they were fishing in 20 to 25 feet of water. There was a bunch of brush on bottom. So they're running bottom bouncers up above that as tight as they could without getting tangled. And they said on the bottom bouncers they had a combination of spinners and Berkeley hit sticks running at 1.3 miles per hour. So I appreciate you guys giving me a little insight on how you're targeting walleyes in the Lone Star State.
Thank you.
That brings us to number 5. Now, I've seen some wild fish deformities, but this one is right up there. It was shared on Pete Mayna's Facebook page. He was sent it from Kyle Sorensen, who was out chasing muskies on Friday the 13th nonetheless, when this pike ate his bait with one of the 2 mouths. I don't know. You ever seen anything like that before? What is going on? Now, most folks in the comments section are thinking that that was probably the result of an old injury from one of those like boga grip style scales or whatever. I mean, that could definitely be the case. That or pike are evolving into filter feeders or having emergency tracheotomy surgeries. Is that the word? Speaking of chasing e-socks, my buddy Nick Linder tried to talk me into going muskie fishing with him the other day.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay.
I'm gonna have to take a pass for now, because the last time I went muskie fishing, this is an actual photo of me just 17 minutes into the day of chucking those big muskie baits.
Knows me, but no else club, but the next.
You muskie folks are a different breed. There you have it. That wraps up this week's top 5. Big shout out to Seafoam for keeping us running smooth. And if you like walleye content like this and want to get your hands on a little bit more, sign up for the free Target Walleye emails at targetwalleye.com. I'll see you back in 7 days.